Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about taking on a new job because it is the beginning of the year and a lot of my listeners are being promoted. They're taking on bigger responsibilities or taking on a new team, and it's just the beginning of the year. A lot of organizational changes happen. So I want to take the next two episodes to talk through two different things. The first thing, which is the subject of today, is some of the organizational strategies to think about when you're taking on a new job. And the second episode that I will record is around mindset and how to think about your new identity in your new position. But today, I want to dive in first about some strategies. And I just want you to think about maybe the last time that you were promoted. It is a very exciting time. And so the first thing I want you to do is celebrate. Of course, celebrate that you are taking on new responsibilities. That means it is a period of growth, personal growth, professional growth. That is really important. And because I think you should always be challenging yourself. And if you are stepping into something, it is also scary. And so also working through that fear is an important part of it. However, in that personal growth and in that very exciting time, it doesn't mean that you have to sell your soul. It doesn't mean that you have to say yes to absolutely everything that comes your way and is put on your plate. So I would like to give you three things to think about because I'm also speaking from, this is what we discuss with my clients. And it was also my personal experience when I took on the CEO role in my last job, my last corporate position. I went all in. I said yes to all the meetings. I said yes to all the travel. I put myself into all of the strategic initiatives, into the recruitment. And as exciting as that was, I ended up paying for it. I paid for it down the road through my health and through major insomnia for over 6 months. And which is why today I want to give you three things to think about so that you can protect yourself, protect your time, protect your health, protect your mental health, protect your relationships. So 3 things to think about. The first one is when you are taking on a new job, you are just as important as the company and those new responsibilities. So you need to set boundaries because I promise you, no one else will do that for you. So what do I mean by setting boundaries? 1, it's deciding what you say yes to and what you say no to. When it comes to travel, so how much do you want to travel? How many days a week? How many days a month? First thing to think about. Secondly is how often do you want to work? Is it okay for you to work during the week, but definitely not on the weekends? Or something, this is what we look at a lot with my clients, is deciding ahead of time a schedule for the weekends. It might just be checking your email 15 minutes on Saturday and putting aside 1 hour on Sunday evening to anticipate the week. For me personally, in my last job, I would say my last 5 years of corporate, I didn't work weekends. I had no issue working whatsoever during the week and working late and the travel during the week, but I needed that weekend to recuperate. Even as the CEO, rarely did I work weekends. And this is so important, and I want to repeat what I said earlier. No one is going to set a boundary for you. If you say yes, people will take advantage of your time. So please think about what is important to you, and think about, when it comes to boundaries also, think about your personal energy. When are you most effective? And if you are most effective in the morning, maybe you set that time aside for your power thinking, your CEO time, as I call it. Maybe you are much more effective in the evenings. In that case, you put your, your client negotiations at that point in time. But be sensitive to either the days of the week that you have energy or the times of the day, and also organize your schedule around that. For me, for example, what that also looks like is I don't take clients on Wednesday. I'll take clients Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And when I say clients, it also means client calls, because I need that Wednesday to work on my business and also to have time for me. So think about that rhythm, and that is up to you to set boundaries. Secondly, you are important. Your life is important, and life outside of work is important. You need to be very intentional about having a life outside of work. Because if you were like me and most of my clients, I love to work. I could work all the time just because I find it so stimulating. But that is not, and I've come to learn this the hard way also, it is not the healthiest way to live your life. You need to feed your soul outside of work, and it starts first, of course, with sleep and exercise and fresh air and good food. That is the basics. It is the foundations. But finding something that feeds your soul is really important. It could be your weekly Pilates class. I have a client on Friday mornings. He does music or rock climbing. I have another client. She had a dance class every Tuesday. Those are the types of things. And when I talk about feeding your soul, you could be an introvert, you could be an extrovert. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sign up for all these classes. Maybe you have one night a week where you binge your favorite Netflix series. Maybe it's having coffee with a girlfriend every single Tuesday lunch. Find something that feeds your soul and put it on your calendar first. You are just as important as your job. So I want you to schedule that first. Feeding your soul could also happen on weekends. Maybe you love to golf. Maybe you love to go to an art exhibit. Maybe you like to do several weekends away. In that case, plan those things, plan them ahead of time, put them on your calendar. because feeding your soul and having a life outside of work is going to make you so much more impactful and effective as you take on a new job. And I know that this is hard when you take on a new job because you're excited. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of pressure, but it is really important for your success. And the third strategy that I would love for you to think about is as soon as you start taking on a job, you also need to be thinking about what you are delegating. Because often you are there now to make decisions, to think bigger picture, and not to do all of the work. Yes, there still might be some work that you are still doing, but I find that it at this moment when we're taking on more responsibilities, people have a very hard time letting go. Because one, it's easy to keep doing work that we like doing, that we're good at, but that is not going to serve you long term. So when you're taking on a new position, immediately start asking yourself, what can I start delegating? Because again, I want to set you up for success. This is what I do in coaching. These three things that we have gone through today, boundaries, feeding your soul, and delegating, that is exactly what I work on with my clients. And so I am giving you also very simple, but really important strategies that are going to set you up for success. And the delegating piece, I've also done several podcast episodes specifically on that. It's so important because it is scary, but it is going to help you step into your new identity, step into who you are becoming in your new job. And the benefit is also it helps your team grow. So as you grow, you're also helping the team grow. So those are three things that I want you to think about today. And if you're not taking on new responsibilities, you can still, it's the beginning of the year, it is the perfect time to question how you are organizing your time at work, where you are spending your time and your energy. And I had decided to do a live atelier. It was free to help people think through their 2026 objectives, organizations, what they want the year to look like. And I have decided not to do it in a group format. So there is no atelier this month of January. I have decided to offer you, my listeners, a free one-on-one session to do that with you. And I will take you through the exact process, the exact questions, the exact questioning, the exact challenges that I took all of my clients through in December and the beginning of January. So I am going to put a link in the show notes. You can sign up before the end of January, and there's a place for you to write anything I should need to know ahead of time. Just put atelier, and I will know that our 30-minute call is for that exact subject, and I will help you think through how to make 2026 successful, what success means for you, what you need to do to be successful, and we'll also talk about what you need to take off your plate. So that is a free half-an-hour call. Instead of doing the atelier this month, I'll put it in the show notes. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Fantastic week. And thanks for following. And we'll see you soon.